Tonight on the HPT, we're at the Ameristar Casino in St. Charles, Missouri, where a field of 338 entrants generated a prize pool of just under $500,000. Going out in ninth place was 30-year-old web developer from right here in St. Charles, Missouri, Derek Schroeder. Facing an under-the-gun raise from Tom Morse, Derek raised from the big blind with pocket kings and was called. The flop was deuce 7 deuce with a couple of clubs. Derek bets, Tom makes the call. The turn card was the ace of spades. Derek checks, Tom bets, and Derek made the call. The river card was the 4 of hearts, a check and an all-in from Tom, and Derek couldn't let it go and called off all of his chips and got the bad news. Tom had ace king of diamonds, and Derek was eliminated, but he walked away with $11,567. Our 8th place finisher was amateur poker player and Kansas City native Ted Forshey. Running low on chips and in late position, Ted shoved his last 6 big blinds into the pot with 10-7 of spades, and once again, Tommy the Terminator Morse was there to make the call with pocket 5s. The flop was king, queen, deuce, no spades, no help. The turn card was the 9 of diamonds, giving Ted a straight draw. Now any 10, 7, or jack would double Ted up, but it wasn't meant to be. The river was the 6 of diamonds, and Ted's run at an HPT title was ended, and he left us with just over $13,000. And finally, going out in 7th place was businessman and Indianapolis native T.M. Williams. In the small blind and facing a raise from Tom and a call from Craig, T.M. and his ace deuce of hearts made the call. The flop was a 10 and 2 nines. All players check. The turn card was the deuce of clubs. With 2 pair, TM bets, Tom folds, Craig shoves all in, and TM makes the call. Cue up the buzzsaw, ladies and gentlemen. Craig was holding a 9, the river was a blank, and TM was eliminated, but not for nothing. He went home with just over $16,000. Well, folks, we've got 6 players remaining and over $300,000 left to award, and it all starts right now on the HPT. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the HPT. I'm James Larson, joined by my co-host, Mr. Kenneth James. And this week, we're just down the road from beautiful St. Louis, Missouri, here in St. Charles, Missouri, at the Ameristar. And Kenneth, my advice to you, don't tell any of the locals that you're a Cub fan.
Wow, there just goes my poker face. Oh, well, all right. No, I love the St. Louis people. I love it here in St. Charles. We got an exciting event for you folks tonight, led by our perennial player, Craig Casino.
Yeah, he's Mr. HPT. This is his 11th final table, his 28th cash, and he's trying to capture his 3rd title, but he's going to have to go through 5 other players. And with no further ado, let's meet those players and take a look at that prize pool.
Up top, $110,386 on down to 6th place. Over a $90,000 difference, so a lot on the line for these players to be playing for tonight.
Your chip leader is Matt, followed by Jeff and Craig. And look at the bottom there. Brock, is that graphic right? He's just got 1 big blind.
A chip and a chair, as it is called. And there's Brock right there in the red hoodie. He gets it all in with the queen 9 of hearts.
Action over to Jeff now. Looks down at king 10 of diamonds. Brock is thinking, come on, I want a little TV time here. It's the first hand. I'm all in, chip in a chair. Come on, guys, take your time. Brock, by the way, 30 years old, from Bridgetown, Missouri. Got into this thing for just $375.
Really?
I love our structure here in the HPT where you can get in on these cheaper satellites, and Brock did just that. Jeff makes the call, and look at Matt. He wakes up with a big hand, pocket 10s.
Yeah, it looks like Matt is getting out raising chips here, looking to isolate. And he does, raises to $225,000. On over to our regular on the HPT, Craig Casino.
Yeah, Paul, Tom, and Craig all fold. We'll talk more about Mr. Casino coming up on tonight's episode. And action back to Jeff. He thinks about making the call, but he folds.
And we're going to go to the flop, heads up. Looks like Brock is not only a chip and a chair, he's going to need a prayer, as he's got a 35%. He's got the overcard queen and the hearts to try and draw out, double up, and stay in this tournament.
Just in case here, dealer, slow things down. We want Brock to get his at least 5 minutes of fame here on this nationally televised final table here on the HPT. All right, good luck to both players as we go to the flop. And it's bad news here for Brock as Matt flops a set of 10s. However, Brock does have a little draw there.
He does. He's got a gutter ball, a jack for a straight. He's going to need it. The turn, no help, is a 3. He's going to need it on the river, or he's going to end up in the gutter, and our 6th place finisher.
And we go to that final card here, and it's the 8 of spades. So that is going to do it for Brock. He came back today with a chip and a chair. He's been eliminated. 6th place money, $19,198. If you ask me, a pretty good return on his investment for just $375. Welcome back to the HPT here at the Ameristar Casino St. Charles. James Larson with you alongside Kenny James. Up top, it's the Mutt and Jeff, or is it Matt? It's Matt and Jeff. Sorry, Matt and Jeff. Hey, Kenny, do me a favor. Give us the denoms of these chips in case people are just tuning in.
Yeah, the tan are 5,000 a piece. They're very close to looking like the orange-colored chips, which are 25K. In the teal, that's the high society. He just grabbed one there. That's 100,000. Each one of those are worth 100K.
Jeff's going to raise it up with his king, queen of diamonds up to 150,000 chips. Over to Matt Patton, your chip leader.
He's got the button in the best hand. He elects to just call.
And he's got an ace, so that doesn't hurt either.
That's true, too.
Paul and Tom, Craig, they all get out of the way. So we're heads up to the flop here. Down to our final 5 players. Started with 338 here in St. Charles, Missouri. The flop is 10-8-4. Not a whole lot going on here, Kenny James.
No, but Jeff is the pre-flop raiser, so I expect him to see bet, but he elects to check.
By the way, Jeff Creamer, 36-year-old from Jeff City, Missouri, into this thing for $375.
Another $375 qualifier, huh?
Love that. 9 of clubs here. A good card for both players.
Well, a little bit better for Matt because he has position. He has the open-ended straight. Jeff has the gutter ball and the 2 overcards. And he has initiative with his bet. But Matt is going to call this, and this is going to make it tough for Jeff on the river should he blank.
That is $225,000.
Forget about the blanks in the gun.
And look at that. The Jack of Diamonds peels off.
How about the nuts in the gun?
All right, so we've been down this road before. The dummy end of the straight, the good end of the straight.
Yeah, you got the nuts. You know, I like making a heavy type of bet here around 500,000. And that's what he bets. Because you only figure to get called by 2 pair or better. You know, you're not going to try and get a call from a 1-pair hand. So I like a heavy bet here for value, and that's exactly what he does. And I think he's probably going to get paid off.
And you see Matt made a straight too, but it's not the good one. Jeff's got the good one, and Matt's realizing that right now. And about 1.9 million chips going over to Jeff Creamer. His total career winnings, by the way, Ken, are just $15,000. So right now, if he goes out in 5th, he'll beat that. 5th place is $24,478.
Yeah, he's going to improve a lot on his career winnings tonight.
I asked him what his plans are for the prize money, and he told me, and I quote, whatever Jill wants to do with it. So, Jill, if you're listening, congratulations. Make some plans. Yeah, congratulations.
Baby's going to get a new pair of shoes.
Right. Speaking of Jeff and Jill, for that matter, Jill's probably excited to look down at pocket jacks for her, man. And Jeff's just going to make the call here.
Wait a minute.
Oh, boy. Buzzsaw alert. The jacks going up now against the aces of Matt's.
Oh, my.
And Matt's going to raise to 160. And now all Jeff's thinking is, well, this is perfect. I just limp. Now my opponent raises. He's got to be salivating right now.
Yeah, he's set a trap, not knowing that he's walked into it himself.
Now, I talked about Jill, who's playing at home. That's their initials, J&J. So maybe this hand means a little more to him than the average person.
That's right. And, you know, Jacks is a tough hand to play. And look, now Matt is all in with pocket aces. What's Jeff going to do now?
Action over to Jeff now. And he's reaching. Oh, what was that all about? What do you call that move there, Mr. James?
Well, some people would call it an angle. You know, trying to get a read over your opponent before you make a move. Other people think it's a part of the game. We'll leave it for you at home to decide. Either way, Jeff is going to be in bad shape as we go to this flop.
All right, ace is going up against jacks, and the flop comes out queen, trey, deuce, couple of diamonds. You can see Matt all in for his tournament life. In the lead with his pocket aces. We go to the turn. It's the 6 of clubs. The only thing that can help Jeff here is one of the remaining jacks. There's only 2 of them. We go to the river card, and the river card is the 10 of diamonds. So Matt is going to win the hand. He's going to double up a pot of over 4 million chips. And for Jeff, just a cooler there of sorts, waking up with pocket jacks, but the buzzsaw wins in the end, and Matt takes down the pot. All right, action continues to that man, Craig Casino. Haven't talked much about CC yet. He's only got 2 HPT wins, just 11 final tables, 28 cashes, all-time money won on the HPT.
We call him Mr. HPT.
Well, he is. And the crazy thing about Craig, he missed the first 5.5 years of the HPT altogether, but he's making up for lost time.
Sure is, as Matt now on the button with $30,000 and $60,000 blinds and a 10K ante. Raises to $150,000 with a blind steal with just queen 4.
Action over to Paul. He releases his hand, and now Tom Morse is finally going to play a hand here, and Tom wakes up with king, queen of clubs, and he makes the call of $90,000. So a heads up, we go to the flop, and it is queen, jack, 7. So both players flopping a queen.
Yeah, top pair. This is a beautiful spot for Tom. He's going to slow play it. He's going to let out some line, as we say, or some rope.
Tom Morse is 73 years old from St. Louis, Missouri.
All these players going through this large field just to get to this point is a wonderful accomplishment. And now here you are on the final table. He raises all in. And
wow,
call.
Look at this. All in and a call, and we flip over the cards. Matt's going to see the bad news here. Tom's got him out kicked. A pot of almost 4 million chips. We go to the turn card. It's the 5 of clubs.
Well, sometimes when you try to steal, you get caught.
The river card is the 7 of diamonds. So Tom Morris is going to win that hand and continue his quest to be our newest and next HPT champion. More action coming up right after the break. You're watching the HPT. Welcome back to the HPT here at the Ameristar Casino, St. Charles, Missouri. Tom is your chip leader with 64 big blinds. But here on the HPT, that doesn't always matter because with the structure and the way everything plays out here, it's anybody's game.
Absolutely. Jeff looking down at King 8 of spades, finds the muck. Lots of play here on the HPT with our blind structure. You know, and great prize pool, usually over $100,000 for first place in every event we go to.
Yeah, tonight 110,386, and you talk about those blinds, 30-60 with a 10K right now. And Mr. HPT here, Craig Casino, just not getting a whole lot of traction at this final table, so he decides now in the big blind to defend and make the call of $65,000 with his 5 tray.
Sometimes you got to play the card you're dealt.
Flop is queen, jack, 7. Action will be first to Tom.
He's flopped an open-ended straight. I would like a lead at this pot. Let's see what he elects to do. Yeah, it looks like he's grabbing some chips. And
Tom's going to bet $125,000.
$125,000, yeah.
Craig gets out of the way. Now action over to Matt Patton.
Well, Matt might be floating here. You know, he doesn't really have a hand, not even really a draw, but he's going to wait for his opponent to show some weakness on the turn.
And that turn card is the 10 of hearts. Tom pairs his 10. He's going to check over to Matt.
And now this is the execution of the float. Once your opponent shows weakness on the turn, to follow it up with a bet and try and wrestle this pot away.
Both players with an open-ended straight draw. Tom pairing his 10, and now Matt bets 350,000 chips.
Yeah, you know, it's really interesting. It looked like Tom was about ready to fold there. He's really loose with his cards.
Tom thinking over this decision after the bet of 350,000, a million chip pot.
Yeah, he can't really be thinking about folding here, could he? He's got to be thinking about either calling or raising.
And he is going to make the call. So to the river we go, and he's going to check in the dark. And that river card is the ace of clubs. So both players make Broadway.
Yeah, both players with the nuts. This is obviously going to be an all-in and a call, or a bet and all-in and a call, and these players are going to chop this up, and it's going to be all for naught here.
Tom checks over to Matt.
A little bit of Hollywooding going on here, but not a lot of drama.
No, we'll find that out here in the end. Matt taking his time here, reaching for those chips. See what he decides to wager. And it looks like 850,000 and all in on obvious call. We flip him over and we'll reconcile, put the chips back. It'll be like it never happened, Ken and James. Let's take this opportunity to invite other players to join us here on the HPT. It's an open invitation. Come on out. All the information is at hptpoker.com. I promise you there'll be plenty of chop pots and all kinds of crazy action here on the HPT. So give it a shot. Our website, once again, hptpoker.com.
And as my partner in crime over there likes to say, you too can be playing for the life-changing cash.
You got it. Just like Craig Casino, we talked about it. All-time money won on the HPT. He holds that record. You know the other thing about Craig? He's a good guy.
He really is.
He's a good guy.
We hang out with him off the felt and talk poker. He loves poker. He loves watching poker. He loves playing poker.
Studies the game.
A great student of the game. It's not by accident that he's here time and time again.
I sometimes give him a hard time. I say, Craig, you're a little loosey-goosey. You like to get your chips in the middle. You like to play a lot of different hands. But then I look at his bio sheet here, and I see that he's got 11 final tables, 28 cashes, and 2 wins. And then I just say, forget anything I said, Craig.
Well,
let's go to the flop.
You got to remember, to win, you got to be able to play the game.
Absolutely.
To play the game, you got to be able to play the hands. So he's in there a lot of times mixing it up, and this is no different. Here he is mixing it up with Jack 6.
Turn card.
Ooh,
Turn
look
card,
at this.
deuce,
Is interesting.
spade. So Craig turns another spade here.
Yeah, I'd like a semi-bluff here by Craig. And he does. He picks up on that.
Craig bets 350,000.
Nice pickup. Nice
and
pickup
boom.
with the Jack 6.
Craig's going to win that pot, 730,000. He's from Winfield, Illinois, and he's got over 850,000 in career earnings. His plans for the cash, some of it's going to go to the St. Jude Children's Hospital and some other veteran organizations. I still remember his first HPT win. I was a part of that back in Colorado as Craig picks up another big hand, a better hand.
Yeah.
Picks up a hand here, ace, queen of hearts this time, and this is worthy of raising, and he's going to do just that to 150,000.
Yeah, well, now he's on a roll. You know, sometimes you just got to play a hand to get yourself into a groove and get yourself in rhythm, and that's what happens here. And now Paul, all in over the top, in a quick call by Craig Casino, he's going to find himself in a dominant hand position here and going to add to his chip stack as Paul is all in for his tournament life.
Paul, by the way, just 32 years old. He's in sales. He's predominantly a cash player. His first HPT event, and he's all in right now. Not the best flop for Paul there. King, queen, 9, 1 diamond out there for Paul, but Craig pairs his queens. We go to that turn card now, and the turn card is the 5 of spades. So that is going to do it for Paul McGuire. A nice day for him on the felt. $24,478. And just like that, we are down to our final 4 players. And when we come back, the action will continue right here on the HPT. Welcome back to the HPT. I'm James Larson alongside Kenneth James, and look who's at the top of the leaderboard there. Craig, the Legend Casino, 62 BBs as we continue action. Four-handed, we can only have one winner. That's how poker works, Kenna. Only one winner, and that person will go home with just over $110,000. That's a lot of cheeseburgers.
A lot of cheeseburgers. And Craig Casino, you know, like a horse race, holding back in the back of the pack, and now with those last 2 pots, he's vaulted into the chip lead.
All right, Tom now with a couple of snowmen here, pocket 8s. And he's just going to make the call, trying to do a little trapping here. And over to the legend. That's a nickname that Stan Jablonski gave him. He's got a baby pair, pocket trays. He's going to raise to $360,000.
And I like this. I like Craig 3-betting here, taking the lead in this pot, showing initiative.
Craig, obviously, with all the experience. I told you, 11 final tables, 2 wins. He feels very comfortable underneath the lights and on the big stage, and he's trying to win his 3rd title. Let's go to the flop. A couple of deuces and a 9.
This is going to turn out really interesting because for Craig to win this pot, he's not only going to have to bet, he's going to need some overcards to come to the board to scare Tom off his hand because just one is not going to do it.
All right, so Craig bets $350,000. Does Tom elect to raise? Yes, he does it here.
Does.
Going up to $800,000.
I think this is an easy fold for Craig. Might be a little grandstanding here. This card should safely find the muck here.
Now remember, we're talking about Craig Casino.
That's right.
Okay.
He could get trapped into his own mind and his own thinking and try and represent a really big pair here and make a big move at this pot. But then he's got to know, does my opponent have the discipline to lay down a 9? And he doesn't know that. So there he goes. He's worked it out and he's found the muck. Nice play.
Tom Morse wins that one. Tom is an analyst here from the St. Louis area. He wants to say hi to Brian and Mary Openlander in the audience here watching him. So I'm going to give them a shout out.
Absolutely. You know, and just to recap on that last hand, James, it's just sometimes we can be our own worst enemies as players on the felt and get trapped into our own thinking. It's called out-leveling yourself. And I'm glad to see that Craig didn't fall into that trap in that last hand.
Matt's going to raise it up to $250,000 now over to Craig. Looks down at an ace. That's ace 10. We'll see if he decides to re-raise here or just make the call, and he's going to just make the call.
Yeah, and sometimes after you've lost a hand,
yeah, sure.
You know, it's natural to play your next hand a little bit more conservative.
All right, we go to the flop now. It's King, Jack, 5, couple of hearts. So Craig with the gutter ball Broadway draw is going to check it over to Matt. And Craig so far with the best of it with his ace high.
Right, but Matt has initiative in the lead. And again, he does not elect to c-bet here as the pre-flop raiser.
Turn card is the 5 of clubs. Once again, Craig is going to check.
This is going to make it harder for a bluff to get through if Matt decides to bet here. So once he's decided to check the flop, I like checking back the turn. But a lot of times players will now find additional strength when their opponent has checked twice in a row and will find a bet. But I wonder if Craig can sniff this out and now make the call, and he does. Great call by Craig on the turn here.
Pot of almost 1 million chips, and we go to the final card, the river card. And it's the 6 of clubs, so...
Oh, wow. Now this vaulted Matt into the lead in this hand.
Yeah, Matt now with 6s and 5s with the check mark there. Craig reaching for chips. He's going to bet $550,000.
This is a really interesting bet. The way this hand has played out.
And Matt makes a quick call, and he's going to win this pot.
Yeah,
a pot
really
over 2 million chips. Yeah.
Really strange the way both players have played this hand, non-traditionally, but that's what happens, you know, when you get into the heat of battle is you take these creative lines, and sometimes it plays differently than you had imagined.
Craig, of course, the good sport that he is, says good call. Explain his success. A guy who started poker late in life, missed the first 5.5 years of the HPT, just starts killing it.
Well, his success is, first of all, he shows up to every event.
Sure.
He's in every event. He has a great style to him. He's aggressive. He reads opponents well. He studies the game, and he puts all that into like a cake, and it comes out, and he has the results that he does.
All right, well, Craig's going to fold. Now action over to Jeff. He looks down at Jack 6, and he said he's all in. and that's an easy call for Matt with an ace-queen, and
Yeah.
Jeff's going to see the bad news.
Making a big move here is Jeff with the jack-6. He runs into the hand of ace-queen that Matt holds. He's going to be a significant underdog.
We go to the flop now. King 10-4, couple of diamonds.
Now even more bad news because a jack gives Matt the straight. He's going to need a 6. The turn we go.
And the turn card is the 5 of clubs. So just one card to go here for Jeff Creamer, or he will be eliminated in 4th place.
He's come so far. Can he draw out on the river?
And the river card is a jack. So Jeff pairs his jack, but like you said before, that makes a straight for Matt. And that's going to do it for Mr. Creamer. He's going to go home with 4th place money, $32,637. And when we come back, more exciting final table action here on the HPT. It's the HPT broadcasting from the Ameristar Casino St. Charles here in beautiful St. Charles, Missouri. James Larson alongside Kenneth James. Matt's your chip leader, followed by Tom, but never, ever count out Craig Casino, my friend.
Never do. And, now Matt winning that hand, he vaults into the chip lead. As you get short-handed, the chip lead goes back and forth, and how well these players adapt to the changing chip position is very key to who comes out the winner tonight.
And I talked about experience before. Craig Casino has been here 11 times at this final table, underneath the lights, on the big stage. Can he finish it out and win his 3rd title? Well, this guy here, Matt, he's going to try to make sure that doesn't happen as he makes the call here with his ace-7. Craig with the raise up to $250,000. The flop, jack, 6 deuce, couple of spades.
Yeah, now Craig, instead of c-betting, elects to check. Matt checks behind him.
Turn card now is the 5 of diamonds.
300.
Now Craig's going to bet $300,000. I like that bet.
He didn't bet on the flop, and now he's betting the turn. So his opponent must be thinking, my opponent is either slow playing me or he's really reaching here, and my ace high might be good. I think he's going to probably sniff this out and look him up.
And Matt does make the call out of over 1 million chips. And now we go to the river card. It's the queen of spades.
Yeah, I think when you're going to bluff, you should bluff early in the hand.
750.
Instead of doing a double barrel turn and river bluff, which is what Craig is doing here.
750. Can Matt make the hero call? These are so hard to do, to make these calls. But if he's got the read,
because he's going to work it out in his head. Would my opponent, who raised pre-flop, really check a flush draw? Probably not. He would c-bet a flush draw, and now the flush gets there on the river, so it doesn't make sense that he bets now that the flush gets there. So his play is illogical, and I think Matt's going to sniff this out.
wow, it looks like he is going to make the call. And Craig doesn't like this at all. Says good hand, ace high, good enough to win that pot.
Now, had Craig taken a different line and c-bet flop and bet turn, I think he wins this pot. But by checking flop, betting turn, betting river, he turned a winner into a loser.
What does that do to your psyche as a poker player? Do you worry that your opponent kind of has you figured out now?
Well, yeah. Well, it's more yourself, especially somebody like him who really studies the game. You can get into this self-critical mode.
Yeah, as he replays the hand.
He replays the hand in his
head.
mind.
Yeah.
And then you start defeating yourself, and that's what he's got to fight against right now.
Now he's going to raise it up to $250,000. He looks a little steamed. Matt folds. Now over to Tom.
And that's the other thing. When you start doing this, it's almost like sharks in the smelling blood in the water. You find resistance all around you.
All right, we go to the flop here. Jack, 9-5. So both players catching a jack. Craig flopping 2 pair. Tom checks over to Craig.
And there's nothing to get you out of the funk like Lady Luck.
Right,
Craig
exactly.
outflopping his opponent here, even though starting with a much worse hand.
Tom's going to raise it up now.
This is beautiful.
Craig loves all of this coming off that
Craig.
last hand.
Look at his body posture now. He's like, I don't like what my opponent is doing.
Craig, as you can see, he's always got the pictures in front of him. His family, his sons and daughters, the grandchildren. Now look at this interesting card, the 7 of diamonds. So now Tom with a straight and flush draw.
Yeah, and top pair, so his hand is huge. He's not going to be going anywhere.
350. Does Craig have to get them all in the middle here?
He doesn't have to, but he probably will.
I like it, yeah.
And now he's going to get called, and now he may have backed himself into trouble if Tom sucks out here.
All right, well, you see there, Tom, with the Jack 10.
Yeah, Craig with far and away the better of it, but he has opened up a can of worms. Can he keep them in the can, or will Tom escape? To the river we go.
And the river card is the ace of hearts. Craig is going to win the pot. He's going to double up to almost $2.6 million. The all-time money leader, winning a huge one here on the HPT.
Well, and Craig likes to play for big pots. He likes to take higher risk for bigger reward, and he's not afraid to let cards roll off the deck that draw his opponents into the pot to allow him to win a monster.
Quick little reset here. James Larson, Kenneth James, we're in St. Charles, Missouri, here at the Ameristar Casino. We started with 338, and we are down to our final 3. There can only be one champion, and that person will go home with $110,386. Back to the action. Matt makes the call with his 10-4, and now Tommy Morse all in with his 7 tray. Action over to Craig, the Legend Casino. 10-9 should be good enough for him to make this call.
Good call.
He does make the call.
Yep, it's a 2-on-1 deal here to get the short stack out.
Expect some checking on the way down here, hoping to eliminate Tom is Matt and Craig. This is very common in tournament poker to see this kind of action at a final table, and we go to the flop, and the flop is King 9-5. So Craig gets the best of it. He's going to check. Over to Matt, of course. Tom is all in, so go to the turn card now. And that is the King of Diamonds. So Tom here in a whole lot of trouble. Tom cannot win this hand. He will be eliminated. See if we get a side pot going. The river card is the 5 of Diamonds. And we're going to go check, check. So we all flip him over. Craig is going to win the pot here, and that's going to eliminate Tom. And he's going to go home with third place money, $46,796. So
Wow.
good to see Tom here at this final table. He's a local resident here from the St. Louis area. His plans, he's going to buy some houses with the money. Well, congratulations to you, Tom. We hope to see you again right here on the HPT. And coming up next, Kenna, we've got Heads Up Poker. Hi, folks. Welcome back to the HPT. James Larson and Kenneth James with you. It's the best part of the show. If you ask me, it's time for Heads Up Poker. We got Matt. We got Craig. Who's going to win this thing?
I don't know. Matt's starting off with a little bit more than a 2-to-1 advantage in chips. But as we know, anything can happen as the swings are really big. As the chip stacks, they're high. The blinds are high. The temperature's turned up. How is this going to play out?
Almost 70,000 for second up top. A little over 110,000. With no further ado, let's get to the action. There you see the graphic with the chip counts, and Kenneth just said it a minute ago. Matt with a 2-to-1 lead over Craig, the Legend Casino. But anything can happen here at an HPT final table. Lines are 40,000, 80,000 with a 10K ante. The first hand of Heads Up, and Craig Casino looks down at 9-4 of clubs.
Yeah, and sometimes I like to set the tone by just folding the button.
200.
But he elects to raise. That's okay. I just do that to let my opponent know I'm not going to panic. I don't have to raise every time I have the button.
Now Matt with King Deuce, 120,000 to make the call. Is he thinking about a raise here now?
Yeah, King High heads up is better than the average hand. And he has the chip lead, so he might want to put pressure on his opponent here.
And it looks like he is grabbing for chips to raise this.
Yep.
And that is what he's doing. And action back over to Craig Casino, and he's going to fold.
I was expecting that before you did it. Set the tone, they say. Set the tone.
I took the words right out of your mouth.
Yeah, well, I was saying set the tone, but there's different tone levels. One is aggression, right? But you can set the tone of patience by just folding.
I want to give credit here to Matt Patton. He's got 30,000 in total career winnings. He's 35 years old. But boy, he looks like a seasoned veteran at this final table. Calm and cool.
Yeah, he really does. Calm, cool, collected. He's got the chip lead, commanding. He's focused. He's in present time.
And that could be half the battle, just being relaxed at the final table. And he's got that part. No issues for him in that department. Now, as he raises with his king tray up to 275,000, and look at that flop. It comes out king 6-4. Good for Matt, and even better for Craig.
Yeah, Craig has flopped 2 pair, and he's playing possum here. I wonder if he's going to check raise right here. Now, remember his strategy. He doesn't mind cards coming off so he can play bigger pots. But here, I like him raising with bottom 2. It's just such a vulnerable hand. So many cards could come off to hurt him.
And now Matt's going to raise all in. Craig thinks about it for about 3 seconds and says, I'll make the call.
Yeah, what a great trap by Craig here.
Wow, what a great hand here for Craig. Casino, huge pot. And we go to the turn card. It's the Jack of Clubs, so another good card for Craig. As another club comes off on the turn. So now we go to the river card. And that river card is the 10 of spades. So Craig, look at that. Kind of a half smile there.
Yeah, the wily smile.
Absolutely. And Craig is thinking to myself, I could be winning my 3rd HPT title right here at the Ameristar Casino in St. Charles, Missouri.
He's definitely got the formula down, this guy.
Now Matt Patton, back to what I said earlier. He's not tilting. He's not frazzled.
Just going about his business.
Exactly. I like it. Action over to Craig.
You know, these players are playing for over a $40,000 difference between first and second place.
Craig raises to 240. Over to Matt now, who's got a real hand. He's got the ace-jack.
Let's see if he does some trapping. His style is more attacking, so I expect him to 3-bet here.
And it is a re-raise going to 955,000. Back over to Craig.
You know, sometimes players can get trapped into these hands with big little just because they have position and they don't like to be pushed around, but I sure hope Craig finds the muck here. And he does.
And Craig, I'll jab Craig a little bit. He doesn't like to put his cards into the muck. He likes to play his cards. He likes to bet. He likes to raise, and he likes to drag pots. But he elects to give that one up there, and Matt's the winner.
I don't think that's a jab, James.
No.
I think it's his style. And, you know, when you own your style, there's no jabbing at all. He says, that's who I am, man.
And he's the all-time money leader here on the HPT. So obviously he's doing something right as far as that goes. Action over to Matt Patton now. And he's going to raise it up to 215,000. I love watching heads-up poker. You can watch players like Matt raising with 9-4 to 215,000. And now Craig's going to re-raise with his King 10 of diamonds up to 700,000.
Wow, action fast and furious in this heads-up play.
I promise you, folks, we will crown a champion tonight. Don't go too far. More exciting final table action is coming up next. Hi, folks. James Larson here, and welcome back to the HPT alongside Ken and James. And looking at that graphic, this reminds me more of a horse race.
It's neck and neck. Who's it gonna be? As we come down the backstretch, only 2 players left in this massive field.
So, and you've got Matt Patton with 30,000 in total career winnings going up against Craig Casino with 850,000. But you know what? Tear up the bio sheets. It doesn't matter. They're basically even in chips. It's anybody's game. Over to Matt now. Looks down at 520,000 for him to make the call.
And Matt's going to make the call.
Let's go to the flop now. Matt and Craig battling it out here in St. Charles. And look at that window card. The flop comes out King 8-6, and Craig flops a set.
On a wet board like this, I like leading out, and it looks like exactly what he's going to do for 400,000.
2 clubs on the board. You see Matt flops an open-ended straight draw. 5, 6, 7, 8, any 4, any 9. The bet is 400,000 and a call. A blank there on the turn. The deuce of diamonds. Action on Matt. I expect a check from Matt. And now, Craig, what do you want Craig to bet here?
Probably about 800,000.
Well, it's
but
too
he
late.
checks it.
He's going to check it, and we go to
Wow.
the river,
Oh,
and it's
my.
the 4 of diamonds. And
Look
just
at
like
this.
that, Matt makes it straight.
Well, it looks like Craig was underplaying his hand to elicit a bluff from his opponent on the river and win a bigger pot, but this time it snaps him. Oh, my.
And Matt checks over to him, setting the trap. And I got a feeling Craig is going to walk right into this one. He bets 1 million chips.
Well, yeah, because he set his opponent up and he wanted this exact scenario to happen. I just don't know how he could ever put his opponent on a straight here.
1 million chips, and now Matt thinking, all right.
All in.
All in.
How much can I raise here?
Call.
And he
And a
goes
quick
all in and a
call.
call. And Craig slams his cards down.
For Craig, Matt has 5, 7,
I
4,
think
and
Craig
8
thinks he won this hand.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Push up the straight, please. He has
Well, he doesn't. He knows now he didn't. But
Look
Craig,
at that. What a stunning turn of events.
wow, Matt Patton, a 10 million chip pot. And that's about going to do it.
Oh my goodness. That is a hand that will haunt a player for days, weeks, sometimes months.
Gee, what are you going to do? Double E up one time. Well, I guess I call.
All right, well, that's all Craig can do. He's got a few chips there, and we're going to get him in the middle here. Queen 9 for Matt going up against Craig's 10 tray.
That was like an interception run back.
Unbelievable. We go to the flop. It's ace, tray, deuce. So Craig pairs his tray, goes in the lead in the hand. Now we go to the turn card, and it's the 9 of hearts. So Matt now goes into the lead. Speaking of the interception, now we're spiking the football. As we go to the river, it's the 5 of spades, and that's going to do it. Craig Casino does not win his 3rd title. He's going to have to settle for 2nd place, $69,882. And just like that, we've got a brand new HPT champion from St. Louis, Missouri, Mr. Matt Patton.
Another exciting finish to another great event right here in St. Charles. Thank you to everyone who's come out and competed in our HPT events. It really came down to these final 2. What a battle between Craig Casino. He seems to always get there, and your very own local favorite, Matt Patton, right here from St. Louis, taking home this championship. Well deserved. Well, they're both down tableside right now with our James Larson for that final table interview.
Here with my good friend and 2nd place finisher here at this HPT final table, Craig, the Legend Casino. Now, I want to ask you real quick, 3 6s. You flop a set of 6s.
Oh.
I heard you say your birthday's coming up this week, October 6th. What was going through your mind when you saw that 6? What was going through your mind?
Well, I was feeling pretty good about it, but I didn't see the bullet that was heading over from the other side of the table. I didn't even see that there was a flush or a straight possibility on the board. I mean, I thought I had him. The way I threw my cards down, that was evident.
Yeah.
But he owned me all day, and he played great, and he deserved to win, so it's fine.
Lifetime earnings now almost $1 million. When you started this game, what was it, 7 years ago you started this thing? Did you ever think you'd hit $1 million or just close to?
No, not at all. I've been very fortunate 3 times now, and twice here and once elsewhere against 5,200 other players, and that was pretty amazing. So I've had my turns. It's Matt's turn now, so I'm okay.
God bless you, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
That's Craig Casino. Give him a big round of applause. And now if we can just pan the camera. Matt, you are the champion. Let's give him a big round of applause. You bested the field of over 300 entries. What's going through your mind? Because you talk about a crazy day. How does it feel? The cash is yours and the bracelet.
It feels great. Honestly, I was down to a short stack to begin all day, and I probably was in 6 or 7 times all in. I had kings versus aces, and I flopped a king for my life towards the top 27. It just seemed like I was winning all my races in the all-in, and just coming to the final table, I felt great, and it just kind of continued from there. So it was an excellent day.
You made a hero call against Craig Casino. All you had was ace high. He bet $750 on the end. How'd you make that call?
I really read the players well this time, and I felt like when he bet so much, it was a bluff-induced bet where and he was just betting to kind of get me off the hand, or it was a weaker ace, maybe like an ace-6 or ace-3 or something where he didn't make a straight draw. So I just kind of went on the whim, went with my read, and I was right.
Well, it was a hero call, and you're a hero tonight. Put your hands together for our newest HPT champion. His name is Matt Patton.
Well, thanks, James, and congratulations once again to Craig Casino, our second place finisher, and Matt Patton, your local hometown champion right here from St. Louis, Missouri. And thanks to all 338 competitors who came out and competed at our HPT event. And if you want to find out how you can come here and compete in one of our events, just go to hptpoker.com. You'll find out all the information and find out where a stop is coming to a city near you, and you can too, as James likes to say, can play for that life-changing cash. For James Larson, I'm Kenneth James. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on the HPT.